John is a sought after business coach. He teaches processes and systems, and he is a leader of our business. Actually, I know I cannot do justice for your own John, so I'll just let you tell a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, I appreciate you having me in and getting to hang out with you this afternoon. And, always love jumping in, hanging out with the fellow honey badger and being able to, just dive into anything that you want to dive into.
Great. Well, can you start off by telling us a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I can go way back, being a coach's kid and, growing up in a coach's home. My dad, public school system for over 45 years, in the public school system. So, I grew up in the locker room and just being around the whole coaching dynamic and seeing how other humans can impact other humans. And so kind of fast forward my my journey coming out of high school going into college was not working. I was there to play golf and ended up being on the drinking team more than the golf team. And my aunt was like, "What the hell? Like, what are you doing? What, like, you're going nowhere." She said, "Get your butt out here." So she's she lives in Hollister, California. So I went out and just had one of the most amazing bosses that you could ever imagine. And she really took me under her wing. And she's like, you know how to hit a golf ball, you know how to coach and teach somebody how to hit a golf ball, work their way around a golf course, but you don't know nothing about business. And so that was really my schooling, was with her. And it was a semi-private 36 hole golf and country club resort. So we had the best of both worlds, right? We had the opportunity to deal with the public, and then we had the opportunity to deal with members. So you get the member politics and dynamics. And there wasn't a better situation for me to be in to really understand all aspects around business. And, typical Oklahoma fashion, you can get out of Oklahoma, but for some damn reason you usually get sucked back in. And so I got sucked back in to Oklahoma with a couple high school buddies of mine, and really came in and ran operations for them. They were serial entrepreneurs. And we got into this little run of starting some ideas and getting them into a business with profit, and then selling them. We flipped about 3 businesses in a pretty short period of time. And we flipped out the last one in about 14 months, and we sold off to Waste Management. We started a trash business. We landed a big contract, and those big boys wanted that contract, so they came in order to get the contract, they had to buy us up, which left us really with nothing to do. And we ended up getting into the damn bar business, probably one of the worst damn mistakes. But if you've read McConaughey's book, Green Lights, it was the perfect green light for me, because what had happened during that year, and that was 2004, was realize my time, it was time for me to move on. And my junior high school buddy, and actually first roommate into college, Michael Reese, caught wind that I was about to make a move. And he made the introduced me to a guy by the name of Jay Kinder. And what's crazy is Jay and I, same small town, I knew him, but I had never met him. And how I knew him is because of what he was able to do from a branding perspective in such a small market. See, at the time he was dominating radio, and he was all over billboards, and you've seen his signs everywhere. And he had just been really intentional about building his brand. And so I knew who he was, but I had never met him. So Michael set up that meeting. That was in October of 2004, and came on board. And man, it's been a fun ride the last 17 plus years. Going down the residential real estate journey.
Oh, wow. All right. If you could go back and ask or tell yourself one thing when you were a new agent, what would it be?
Yeah,
Because in that many years, I'm sure you've hit some roadblocks and stumbling stones.
I have, being able to be in Lawton, Oklahoma, our average sales price during that run was in the low, 120s, 130s. And then we also transitioned and kicked off a brokerage in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to have that unique perspective of owning two, seven figure, plus real estate brokerages in two completely different markets, as well as in 2012 started coaching for Jay and Michael with the coaching company at the time. So my time now has really been transitioned over, full-time coaching. And, for me, it's just natural, right? Growing up, with my dad and who he was and is, and just the environment that I was immersed in. And so knowing that team dynamic, right? I came in from the operational side of things first. I got licensed in January of 05. However, I really didn't sell full throttle. I did sell in 07, 08, 09 timeframe, just like anybody probably had to survive that to survive that run of a period of time. And that really rounded me out from understanding business dynamics, understanding the operational side of things, to be able to get in the trenches and make sales in two different markets, and then being able to coach for the past decade agents now all over the world. To the question, Bobby, around newer agents coming in, I can't emphasize enough, I'm pro team. I think if you're a new agent looking to get into the business, you need to find a team that can, first and foremost, you align to who they are, you align to their core values, and you make sure that their values align with your values, and you understand what they're trying to do for you as an agent. What is the support that they're putting in place to be able to help you? Because understanding and trying to come in and kick things off is too much. It's too heavy. There's so much to think about. Hey, where do I need to be spending my time? Do I need to be doing this? How do I allocate my money correctly? And if you can jump on a team in the beginning that can take and create some leverage for you, yeah, you're going to trade 50, 60 cents, maybe 40 cents of every dollar that you earn. However, what are you getting in return? Right? You're getting the support, you're getting the coaching, you're getting the training, you're getting the leadership, you're getting, plugging into, they already have some brand recognition. They've already probably got some proven systems and tools that can help you accelerate your growth into this business. The failure rate into real estate is unbelievable. And it's because most agents get in without getting the right structure and the right support that they need to be successful in this business, because there's too many variables to be thinking about to judge if you're trying to grow your business, right? You think about it, Bobby, it doesn't matter if we're trying to start a snow cone stand or we're selling residential real estate. You've got to have somebody that has the idea and the vision for the business. You've got to have somebody that can implement the ideas. You've got sales. You've got marketing. You've got to create leads so sales can turn those leads into dollars. You've got operations. You've got administrative. You've got paperwork. You got I's dotted, T's crossed. You got compliance. You've got IT. You need a landing page. You need some automation, you need some tools, and then you've got to worry about the money. You got the finance side. So, I mean, there's 6, 7 things right there, and it can get overwhelming in a hurry.
It's 6 or 7 different jobs really all in one. And a lot of people kind of get thrown in the deep end without ever even knowing how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So that's what I would always recommend. Somebody new getting in, get around some great leadership and somebody that aligns to who you are at your core. Make sure they're a good core value fit and you believe in what they're trying to do. And there's some synergy there, and get in and learn, be a sponge, get in there and learn as much as you can, and be honest coming in. And, you're looking for somebody that's going to help you build a career. that's gonna accelerate you through their organization and help you graduate to something bigger for yourself. But you need to get in and you need to learn the fundamentals. Take the bite-sized chunks in the beginning, so that's what I would tell anybody new getting into the business. Get on a great team. Get on a great team in your market.
All right. I was looking at some of my notes. I was making preparation for this because I've been wondering this for a while now. Like, what was the most difficult part, like at previous brokerage, like pain points that you had?
Yeah. So, the pain points that we've had, I'll give you the perspective from, from the head of company type of viewpoint. And that was being able to offer enough value to our team that whatever promises we could make, we could deliver on, and not have a fear of getting the phone call that they're going to be leaving us. And so really just really looking for agents that are truly coachable.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean, right? Coachable really means that they're open to feedback. They're open to getting better. They want to be better every day. They have a hunger about them that they want to be better. It's not that, they have that ability. They overcome ego and they focus on, getting to right instead of being right. They have a desire, they have a hunger to be better. They are humble enough to understand that they don't know what they don't know, to be then coachable. And then, they've got some emotional intelligence around them. And those are a lot of the boxes that we're looking for with agents at all time. One of the biggest mistakes that we made in especially in the smaller market brokerage was that we didn't focus enough on trying to attract as much talent as possible. We fell into the notion of, a little false, not, we fell in love with the stories we were telling ourselves. And the story that we would always tell ourselves is that, hey, there's no talent in this market. So what we got to do is we've got to focus on agent productivity. That's the most important thing for us to focus on. However, increasing headcount fixes everything. And if you've got a great system, a great process to bring in talent at all times, you'll solve a lot of your problems. And that's one of the systems that we failed to truly implement at a high level, was a predictable, consistent process of finding, evaluating, and bringing on talent, and then bringing them on and getting them to the closing table as fast as possible. That was kind of one of the biggest kind of chinks in our armor that we really didn't have dialed in, that, kind of looking back, that I would say, hey, if you're really serious about building a team and you want to increase the team members, you need to have two things in place. One, you need to have a proven system to be able to bring talent in, evaluate talent, get them on board. And then what I would say in today's market, Bobby, is that you want to make sure that you've got some predictable oil wells on the listing side of the business. Do you have one or two consistent, predictable listing lead gen strategies to be able to, get in front of more listing opportunities? And a lot of agents don't, right? In the past, they've built their business off of, these lead gen platforms, but those are for buyers, right? Those bring in buyer leads. However, we've been really paying attention to the percentage of buyer leads coming in that have a home to sell. And it's getting up close to 40%. Zillow made a statement a couple month or so back that by 2024, 55% of all Zillow leads will have a home to sell. And so why is that? Well, what's the number one challenge that most homeowners, what's keeping them up at night? And the one thing that's keeping them up at night is like, Bobby, we would love to sell, but where are we going to go?
Oh, absolutely.
So guess what they're doing? They're searching for properties nonstop themselves. So don't discount the buyer leads that you think are buyer leads that are coming in. You have to view those as if they have a home to sell. So just statistically know in the back of your mind, for every 10 home search inquiries that come in right now, statistically, at least 4 to 4.5 to 5 of those have a home to sell. So you've got to treat it as if. So I think that's one. You've got to be able to, in today's market, go after off-market properties. You've got to have a strong strategy that you're being consistent with to find off-market properties. And so get a couple predictable listing opportunities in your business. Those are the two things that I would say. If you're looking to grow and build a team in today's market, you've got to have a strong system to find and acquire talent, new team members. And then you've got to have one or two consistent, lead gen strategies for to acquire listings.
Okay. I love how you actually have everything broke down, because I remember on one meeting, you had the hours it took dealing with a seller versus dealing with a buyer.
Yeah.
And that so resonated with me.
Yeah.
Another question for you. We went through some of the pain points. How did that change or solve your problems when you made the move over to EXP?
For us, one of the things that prior to the EXP model that you run into in the fundamental flaw in the team model is that your talent comes out the top. Mm-hmm. Meaning that you don't have a place for your top talent to land, just because mathematically your business model doesn't work to support an agent that's, bringing in more business on their own than what you're providing for them. In the past, traditional team models have been built around providing opportunities, company generated opportunities. And so what tends to happen as you have more of a seasoned agent that's doing a good job building their own book of business, then they are, they have a little bit more, a leg to stand on, right? They have a little bit more favor on their side. And, they start to develop this belief that they don't need you anymore. And so you've got to kind of cater to the commission structure based upon, what they do. And then, if you're still trying to provide resources and everything for them, and they're, now you're giving them, 60, 70, 80% of every deal in a team model, it makes it real hard to make the math work. So, being able to understand that, okay, now I have another option. And if you really get out with that conversation in the beginning when they come on board with you, Bobby, and you can talk about, is this something like, are you just wanting to dabble, or are you wanting to just sell a few homes a year? You need the support. Like, what are your goals? And does your business model support the goals of the agents? And I believe with EXP, yes, the answer is yes. I believe that you've got an option for them if they're a newer agent that, they need more training, support, leadership, guidance. They need a little bit more time. Then I believe you have another option for them where they don't need as much of your time, but they see the value in what the team brings. And then I think a third option for them is, hey, I'm ready to graduate. I'm ready to move on and do this myself. And with EXP, you're able to keep them within your organization to where you can still have a vested interest in helping them grow. And instead of them being viewed as my competition, now they're still part of my organization. And it changes the mindset, Bobby. That's then one of the biggest things that I've seen with us at EXP. And, when we were in Lawton, small market, we were Coldwell Banker. So we got to ride the Realogy brand. We understand, that model backwards and forwards. And then, Michael was at KW. So we were understanding KW. And at the time, prior to us really being exposed to EXP, the best option out there was to go independent. And, we made that move. We went independent. We've taken, I don't know how many top performing agents that I've personally taken them in, to the independent side of things. And so, just because what you're able to do, that gives you a little bit more dollars back to be able to pour back into the agents. See, at EXP, we had our split too, because we weren't the owner, right? We didn't own the franchise. We didn't own that region. We didn't own that market. So we were on a split with the broker, and we had to pay EXP, or excuse me, Coldwell Banker, a percentage. Then we had to pay a royalty, monthly marketing royalty. And then, you got to get plugged into their referral network. So you're paying to be a part of that. And then you're paying, 38, 40% for those referrals. And so at the end of the day, we just added up and did the math. And we're like, okay, well, we can keep this amount of dollars. Now we can pour this back into our agents. We can do some more for them. So independent is a great option. And so when we were kind of forced to look at EXP in the beginning, is because one of my very dear friends and somebody that I've had the opportunity to work with for almost a decade now, coaching, he was kind of forced. He lost his top 2 agents, and he had to make a decision, either get back into production or figure something else out. And he says, I'm not getting back into production. I finally got out of production. I'm not getting back into production.
I understand that.
Yeah. Right. That's agents want to escape production. They want to escape working with buyers and sellers. And
the thing
so
I see is an exit strategy, where a lot of other places there isn't one. If you exit, you lose everything.
Bobby, this is an industry that doesn't have an exit strategy. You just quit.
Mm-hmm.
Because typically what most agents build is they build a network that's based upon them. They don't work the network, whatever they have is no good. They don't understand what it takes to build real assets and real value. And so EXP gives you a real exit strategy in an industry that doesn't have one.
Hey, John, thank you so much for joining us today. I know we run long, but thank you for taking the time, man. I really do appreciate it. Man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you having me on. And man, yeah. Anything else that I can do to help and add value to your community, I'm here.
All right, I appreciate it, man.
You got it. Thank you.
This is Honey Badger Nation,
where real estate agents from around the globe come together
to grow, collaborate,
and expand their business.
Where we take our individual fires and put them together and make one big fire.
This is the Honey Badger Nation.